We're sleeving magical advancements and hiding from the freaking sun. That's right, it's Mystic Lands from AEG. In this card crafting competition, 1 to 4 players take on the role of druids, each shaping the lands of this realm into a world of unparalleled beauty. By drawing mana, spirits, and most importantly, victory points from their sacred vales and fertile lands, players race to restore balance to an unbalanced world. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins. Quick note, this is a prototype version of the game today, so some of the components may look a little bit different from your copy at home, but don't freak out, the rules are the same. Setup begins with map selection. Choose one map from the 4 available and set it in the center of the table. For your first game, try the Gateway Vale. Place the market board above the map as well. Create a supply of rain tokens nearby. Take the Vale cards and separate them by level, level 1 and level 2. Shuffle these to form 2 decks beside the board, and then deal 1 card face down to the labeled spaces on the Vale map. Then reveal the Vale cards in spaces directly connected to the starting space located here. Take the advances and separate them by level. Shuffle them into 2 draw decks on the ends of the market board, level 1 on the left and level 2 on the right. Then deal an advance face up to each of the spaces of the market board, 6 for level 1 and 3 for level 2. Each player chooses a color to play and takes the matching player board, 12 Vale cubes, a starting deck which contains 13 land cards and 1 druid card. Land cards include arid lands, fertile lands, wild lands, and sacred lands. They also take 3 tracker tokens and place them on the 0 space of their board, 1 mana tracker, 1 spirit tracker, and 1 victory point tracker. Shuffle the druid advances and deal 2 to each player face down. Players each choose 1 to keep and return the other to the druid advance deck. They sleeve their chosen druid advance with their druid card from their starting deck. They shuffle this card into their starter deck and set it face down on the deck space of their board. Finally, randomly select a first player, and in clockwise order around the table, each player takes starting resources. First player gets nothing, but they get to take the first turn, so lucky them. Second player gains 1 mana tracked on their board. Third player gains 1 mana and 1 spirit. And fourth gains 2 mana and 1 spirit. Before we get into gameplay, let's talk about sleeving, aka card crafting. Advances come in 2 types, foreground and background. These can each modify 2 sections of a card, the top or bottom. Therefore, each card can be upgraded up to 4 times. The first advance sleeved on a card goes in front of the basic card itself. Subsequent advances are placed depending on their type. Backgrounds are placed behind other advances, and foregrounds are placed in front. There's a cutout that'll help you. A player may only sleeve an advance with the sun onto a card which doesn't already show a sun. However, some cards provide a cloud which covers the sun. In that case, the card is no longer considered to have a sun. Gameplay occurs in turns, each divided into 2 phases, day phase and dusk phase. Additionally, there's a night phase, but that occurs during other players' day phase. Before the game begins in earnest, all players take 1 night phase simultaneously, after which the first player takes their turn. In the night phase, a player plays their on-deck card to their land or their play area and resolves any when played or night effect. They then reveal the new on-deck card on top of their deck. If their deck is ever empty, they shuffle their discard to form a new deck. The player may repeat this process as many times as they wish until they choose to stop or they've withered. If a 4th sun icon is revealed between their on-deck card and the cards in their land, they wither and end their night phase. More on withering in a sec. Now back to the regular turn order, day phase and dusk phase. First up, during the day phase, the active player returns all unused rain tokens back to the pile near the Vale board. Then they gain mana, spirits, and victory points from the number icons on the left edge of the card in their land, but not on the on-deck card. However, if they withered in the night, they only gain one of the 3 resources of their choosing during their upcoming day phase, including resources gained from day effects. After gaining resources, they may resolve any day effects on cards in their land or veils where they have a veil cube. They may also buy up to 2 advances and enchant up to 2 veils per day phase. To buy an advance, the player chooses any face-up advance in the market, then pays the listed mana cost. Immediately replenish the market with a card from the appropriate deck. They take the advance and set it aside, not sleeving it quite yet. To enchant a veil, the player chooses a veil card and a spot on it. A spot is a square or row of squares that give rewards, generally in the form of in-game victory points. The player pays spirit equal to the veil's cost, minus 1 spirit per other player with a cube already on the veil. They must meet the following conditions. They do not already have a cube on the veil. The veil is connected by a path to another veil they have a cube on or to the starting space. They may only choose to enchant a spot on a row where another player does not already have a cube. After enchanting, reveal any connected face-down veil cards. Additionally, if the row has an additional space with an arrow to the left, the player may move their cube to activate that ability. Then, in the dusk phase, they perform the following steps in any order. Set their mana to 0 if they bought any advances in the day phase. If you choose to buy no advances, you can bank that mana for a future turn. Sleeve any set-aside advances into cards in their land. This is optional, and they can leave some advances there and sleeve them on a future dusk phase. Resolve any dusk effects on cards in their land, including those from advances sleeved this turn. To end their dusk phase and thus their turn, the player cleans up their land by gathering played cards and placing them face up in their discard pile. Play then moves to the next player. Some other important mechanics of the game: rain tokens. Some game effects provide rain tokens. The most common is when you sleeve your first advance into an arid card covering this icon. The player places rain tokens over a sun icon in their land during the night phase to prevent withering. Use them all though, because excess rain tokens must be discarded at the end of the night phase. Additional advances. The first time any one player has 5 victory points during their day phase, they follow these steps. Remove any level 1 advance from the market. Shift any level 1 advances to the right of this space, 1 space to the left. Refill the space with a level 2 advance from the deck. Place one of the level 2 tokens above this space. For the rest of the game, refill this space with a level 2 advance when it's empty. This happens a second time when any one player reaches or exceeds 15 points, so there will be 5 level 2 advances in the market for the rest of the game. For faster turns, pass to the next player's day phase as soon as someone begins their dusk phase. As soon as any player ends their day phase with at least 25 victory points on the board, or with their 10th Veil cube on the Veil map, they finish their dusk phase, gain 5 VP for ending the game, and regardless of who is the first player, each other player completes their upcoming night, day, and dusk phases, and then the game ends. The person with the highest total VP from their track, advances, and the Veil map wins. And that's the basics of Mystic Lands. Be sure to check out their Kickstarter link in the description below to get your advanced copy of the game. I'm Becca Scott, this is Good Time Society, and I'm a druid. Help me grow this garden by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, supporting us on Patreon, and coming on back for more great games and good times. See you later.